The number one reason why I believe that Donald Trump desperately tried to stop the publishing of Fire and Fury book is because he knows that it's full of the truth. He knows that the book is full of facts, I should say. Listen, folks, Donald Trump, in his own words, said that you could speak lies, you could say whatever you wanted to say about his family, about himself. The number one thing that he said you cannot lie about or to try to embellish is about his wealth. That's what Donald Trump said. So the number one thing that Donald Trump does not want to ever to be embellished is, or to anybody to ever try to, print anything about his wealth. This is what really makes Donald Trump angry. So why would Donald Trump desperately try to stop Fire and Fury from being published? Again, because he knows there are facts in that book. That's why. And Donald Trump is scrambling right now, folks. I've been seeing this probably for, I don't know, at least the last few months, but mostly this last month. He is so desperate. I've been saying he's going down, and now it's actually in the news. They're using the very phrase, he's going down. It's amazing to see those that continue right to the end, his most faithful supporters, right to the end, just as stupid as he is, just as dumb as he is. Now, folks, I want you to understand something. Donald Trump, okay, how do I even say this? I've been telling you this. It's actually in the book now that he is surrounded by clowns and that he himself is a clown. I've been telling you this, that his whole administration is a circus. Anybody that's still there with Donald Trump are clowns. They're all clowns. I don't know how much longer Tillerson is going to stay in the administration. I don't know how much longer he'll stay there. I don't think much longer. He doesn't want to be I don't think anybody except his own family want to be associated with him. I mean, let me tell you something about Donald Trump, folks. Donald Trump is the type of person that lets everybody do the work while he takes the credit for it. You want to know who built the Trump organization? Not Donald Trump. You want to know what really put Donald Trump on the map? Not his ability to build or his ability, for construction or real estate or anything like that. No. It's publications like The Art of the Deal that put him on the map. I mean, he talks about Art of the Deal everywhere he goes. But the very person that wrote that book is now dissociating himself with Donald Trump. Think about that for a moment. Think about the implications of that. The very person that spent day after day, hours after hours in the presence of Donald Trump is echoing the very things that are being said in the book. I mean, how much truth? How many facts do you need to understand the truth about Donald Trump? I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life where people are willing to go down with the ship and the captain. It's crazy. The ship's going down. And I guess they're just going to go down with him because these people will not see the truth. They're not willing to actually look at the evidence. They're not willing to look at the facts. Just as he was running for president, I mean, just his, good gracious. I mean, the flip-flops, never mind the flip-flops. I mean, that's just politics. But just the lack of character as he was running for president. Not to mention in this book, Fire and Fury, that tells the truth about the fact he never thought he was going to be president in the first place. He wasn't looking to be president. He was actually going to use this whole thing to make a name for himself. That's what the whole purpose was. He was trying to get more attention to himself. That's why he was doing it. He was more shocked than anybody that he became president, and he doesn't know what to do since then. I mean, he's like a deer in the headlights. But Donald Trump, folks, is all about the lies about his wealth. And even though he's worth, a lot of money, it's still not enough for him. He wants people to believe he's a billionaire when he's not a billionaire. He's not even a billionaire, people. But he wants everybody to think he is. Now, he may have a lot of assets, and he may have a lot of, a lot of things that are not liquid. That if he was to liquidate, I don't know how close he would get to being a billionaire. But that's why he won't release his taxes or his tax forms. That's why he will not release any information that will prove once and for all that he's not lying about his wealth. But that's the number one thing that he said, hands off. You can talk about anything, but don't talk about my wealth. So why is he fighting this book so hard? And why is he saying that he wants to sue the publisher and the author of this book? Because he knows the information in the book will bring him down. He knows that. He's scrambling right now, people. Donald Trump is very, very nervous right now. I will promise you that. That's just to say the least. But he is very, very, very nervous. But I've been telling you these things. Everything that's in this book. I've been telling you, people, about Donald Trump from the beginning. I said he's like a child. I said his attention span is very short. I mean, he doesn't even read. He never reads. How can you be the president of the United States and you don't even read? I guess they tried to go over the Constitution with him or tried to, just help inform him about some things, and he couldn't even make it through the first couple of, minutes. It's just, he rolled his eyes at the back of his he rolled his eyes at the back of his head because it was too boring. You can't make this stuff up. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so absurd. It's so absurd that we are here in this country, that we have this clown, this circus act in the White House, that that he says, I can't even believe he said this, that his nuclear button is bigger than North Korea's nuclear button. I mean, come on. Is the guy even in reality? Does he even have any inkling of reality at all? Talking about a nuclear weapon. No president has ever, and even Obama, nobody has ever talked about nuclear weapons so frivolously, so half-heartedly, just so flippantly. He's dangerous, people. He is dangerous. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not in reality. He's not in reality. And that makes him more dangerous than anything else. See, Donald Trump is the type of person that anybody that got in his way, he would sick his lawyers on him. And that would scare people. And he thought he could do that with this publisher. Now, he can sue this publisher after the fact because that's the law in America. But it'll be too late by then. It'll be too late. Amen? I mean, this is going out all over the place right now. It was supposed to come out in a few more days, but they put it out just, it almost seems overnight. I mean, since since the publisher was threatened, he says, let's get this thing out now. Because you don't know what they could have probably pulled off. So he decided, let's get this thing out right now, get it to as many people as possible. And I was going to purchase the book last night, and I thought, you know what? I actually did purchase it, and then I went and I canceled it on Amazon. You know why I didn't buy it? Because everybody and anybody's talking about it. All the quotes are coming out. I mean, they're everywhere on YouTube, in the news. Why buy the book? But they're just an echo of what I've been telling you. I mean, you don't have to be a fly on the wall. You don't have to be somebody in the White House. You don't have to be Wolf or anybody, going in and getting a story. Just listen to what the Holy Spirit is saying. The Lord is faithful. He told me right from the beginning that Donald Trump was a snake in the grass. Right from the beginning. And I've held to the word of God. I've held to the word while everybody ridiculed, while people mocked me, while I just received so much backlash. But I've been telling you right from the beginning, and I held true to that because I had a word from God. If I didn't have that word from God, folks, I wouldn't have had the confidence. I wouldn't have had the confidence to tell you the truth about Donald Trump. Because this is not a personal vendetta. And I think it's the saddest thing. It's so sad. It is sad. I'm just going to say it is so sad. I feel bad. I feel bad for any human being for suffering. Doesn't matter who they are. Don't matter what they've done. I don't like to see anybody suffer. He is destroying himself. The Trump brand. He's destroying his family. He's gotten his family involved in this now because he doesn't live in reality and he thinks he can actually go across into Russia and he's not going to get in trouble because he's Donald Trump, because he's a billionaire, because he thinks he's above the law. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So I don't think that he's going to be in the White House much longer. Sadly, Donald Trump will go down in history as someone believing that he himself was successful and everybody else will know he wasn't. Even the people that support him. Now, maybe they may continue to believe the lies and be as, and be as delusional as he is. Because some people are like that. Some people will go down with the ship, with the captain, and just because of their pride. I mean, they could put Donald Trump in jail and the people would protest in America because he's not being treated fairly. Because people are so just foolish. I know someone told me in the comments, please don't please don't use that word stupid. Folks, look up the word foolish. Look it up where Jesus used the word foolish. That's what it means in the Greek. It means stupid. And I don't like using that word. But when you have someone as foolish, okay, there it is, foolish as Donald Trump, when you get to the Greek, you got to go deeper and see really what you're dealing with here. This is not somebody that is using strategy when he does stupid things. This is not someone when he tweets out things as a strategy tool. He's doing it out of absolute idiocy. Okay? It's idiocy. His own cabinet is leaving him. People are leaving left and right. They're falling left and right, all around him right now. He can't find anybody except his own immediate family. And it makes you wonder. I mean, it makes you wonder if his own family, at some point, I mean, I guess they can't because they're blood and that's their dad, and I guess they'll go down with the ship. But if Donald Trump is not removed from the White House, it won't be just Donald Trump going down. It'll be this country. Did you hear what I said? It'll be this country going down. Drastic situations call for drastic measures. Are you listening? He should have never been in the White House to begin with. And I'm not saying Hillary Clinton should be either. What I'm saying to you is he shouldn't be there right now. And he knows that. He knows he shouldn't be there. He doesn't even know what to do in the White House. He thought he would wing it. And just in the first few days, he said, this is more work than I've ever faced when I was working at Trump Tower. When I was working the Trump organization, he said, working in the White House, this is really work. Why, Donald? Because people won't do it for you? Because they won't be the president for you? Because you can't stand behind and receive all the credit while everybody else does the work? See, he couldn't get away with that in Washington. You can't have an interview or go before other political leaders and act like you're, intelligent when they're listening to you talk. They know right away you don't know what you're talking about. They know right away that you're an idiot. They know that. And I didn't agree with Obama, but in some sense, I would say Obama was intelligent. He had some intelligence. He had some wherewithal. I don't agree with his motive. I don't agree with the direction he was taking the country. I don't agree with his politics. But I do agree with his demeanor, the way that he carried himself. But folks, we've gone from bad to worse in this country. And it seems like overnight. You talk about a bomb going off. You talk about a cyclone bomb. That's what's hit Washington. That's what we've been hit with in this country. A cyclone bomb. So getting back to the reason why Trump desperately tried to stop this book from being published is because he knows it's factual. And I'm not saying Donald Trump's embarrassed, because remember, he uses, and this is his own words, it doesn't matter if it's good publicity or bad publicity. It's all good to him. Donald Trump believes that. He doesn't care what people say about him. So if that's true, then why is this book so important to be stopped from being given to the public? If that's really true, then this book should be fine, because it doesn't matter if it's good news or bad news about him. Doesn't matter if it's true or false. Donald Trump doesn't care as long as he's in the headlines. Well, there must be something different about this book. I leave you with that thought. Must be something different about this book, because Donald Trump's, his whole philosophy is, in fact, I would say this is his faith. Good or bad publicity, it's both good. Doesn't matter. Because as long as I'm getting attention, as long as I'm making money, well, then why? Why? try to sue the publisher and the writer of the book. And one last thing as a side note. Why did Donald Trump say that the look into his that's not the word I want to use. The investigation is what I want to use. Why did he say the investigation into this Russia collusion is hurting the country? Ever thought about that? Because he knows. He knows. He knows that Russian people from Russia went up to the Trump Tower, into his office, and had a meeting. He knows that. It might have been secret at the time, but it's not secret no more. It's not a secret anymore, people. They had a meeting, all right. Now, how this goes down in history and how this is going to be prosecuted, I have no idea. Because we know how crooked things get in this country. We know that people like this never get justice. I just don't know how this will go. Will the American people that are not supporting Donald Trump be satisfied with just getting him out of the White House? Or will they want to see him prosecuted? Folks, I'm going to tell you, this is treason. This is treason. That's right, treason. And I know people don't want to talk about that, but this is treason. Make no mistake about it. And I'm not talking about just Donald Trump. I'm talking about everybody involved committed treason. And I'm sure at the time they didn't want to look at it that way. But anytime you collude with an enemy, foreign or domestic, and that's exactly what they did. Trying to bring up dirt on Hillary. You know, someone didn't get the memo to Trump letting him know that this wasn't The Apprentice. Maybe it'll sink in if he's possibly behind bars. If he doesn't flee to Russia or flee to some other country for sanctuary. This is serious business, folks. I don't know how this country's going to handle it. I don't know how, because even the FBI is corrupt. I mean, who's going to, you know what I mean? Who's going to prosecute this? Who's going to deal with it? There's so much corruption in this country. Money, you know, money just does very strange things in this country. People get away with things because of money. We'll just have to wait and see how far Donald Trump can actually go in this. How far can his money take him? How far he's willing to go? We'll see how far he's willing to push this whole idea that it's all lies and fake. You got to understand, people. What is he, 71 years old now? He's not getting any younger. He's not getting any younger. You know, maybe this is not the first time that Donald Trump has worked with Russia. Maybe he's done it in the past. Maybe that's how he got money, because I've been talking to you about the fact that nobody would loan him money here in the United States. So maybe that's where it all started. When he started to work with Russia and other countries, we don't know how deep this goes. We don't know how far this goes, people. We really don't. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe I'll just open up the chat for just a moment. If it gets out of hand, I'll have to. I imagine there's some enemies out there just waiting to say what they want to say. I don't want to say I told you so, but if anybody that's been listening to this broadcast, anybody that's been listening to this channel for any length of time knows that I've been saying these same things from the beginning. Right down to saying he's like a child. I mean, I was listening to a bunch of children that were giving their assessment of the president. And they said he was acting like a child. The little children said that. I don't know what that has anything to do with the subject. So, anyway, I'll leave the comments open under the broadcast in the archive as long as I can, because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate, a lot of people that are going to be saying some very negative things. But I wonder how many of even my listeners are on the fence about Donald Trump. And in secret, this is a secret. You're not fully persuaded. You still think, maybe he's really not that bad. Well, I'm going to tell you, the book is full of facts. Over 300 interviews in the White House with different people that they probably didn't even know at the time that they were being interviewed, or at least they didn't take it serious at the time, and now they wish they could retract it. Donald Trump himself, 3 hours, and didn't even know he's being interviewed. We'll have to wait and see. They can play it down all they want. They can keep on saying things like it's lies and fake, and they can say that they, that. Let me just say this: the cat's out of the bag. There's nothing they could do now. Everybody knows. Everybody's gotten their hands on. They said that book sold almost like Harry Potter, if not better than Harry Potter. I mean, it just sold out in many, many places. Unprecedented how this book, how many people wanted that book, and including myself. But I realized I didn't need to buy it because there's plenty of people out there that are going to buy it for me. And I'm sure it won't be long before somebody will have it in PDF or have it in some form on the internet. But anyway, this will be in the news for quite some time. This is not just going to blow over. And I'm sure that's what they're hoping. I'm sure Donald Trump is going to try to play this down, and he'll keep on calling it fake, keep calling it lies, keep on, demonizing Steve Bannon, who he used to praise, by the way, and just keep on playing it down, hoping that it's going to go away. But I will assure you this, it's not going away. It's not going away. Be sure your sin will find you out. And even the Lord said he would bring the things that are in darkness to the light. Maybe, possibly. I don't know this for sure, but maybe, Maybe Israel was involved in this. Maybe it wasn't just Donald Trump. Maybe it was the Zionist movement that was all working together with Russia. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this was a synagogue of Satan move. Maybe it wasn't just on Donald Trump's part. Maybe he was working along with the cabal. We'll have to wait and see. I don't have the inside scoop on this. The number one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is, why did Donald Trump say he likes good and bad publicity? It's all good publicity. And you can say anything you want against my family, you can lie, whatever, but just don't talk about my money. But yet, he tries to sue and stop the publishing of this book.